Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with StampCreatively. So this is the new May to August catalog. If you don't have one and you need one, let me know. This is the Valley in Bloom, and I loved all of the Lily of the Valley. When this catalog started, my Lily of the Valley was blooming. It was beautiful. It's got this luxe white paper. I like the gems, the DSP, like the stamp set. So I decided I wanted to make a sampler. And if you don't know what a sampler is, you take your projects and you put them on a 12 by 12. And for me, I like to make them knowing this could be a card. So this is like 5.5 by 3. So I could make this a card front. This one could be a card front. This is 4 by 4. There's the DSP. Here's my this is the Lux paper, and I got all this done and I'm like, I need more. I had done a Winnie the Pooh one that went together really well. So what I did was I turned the page to see what else we had. There was this stamp set down here at the bottom. It's called Life in Bloom. It's a bundle. It gave me this words, simply enjoy the little things. It gave me this flower pot with the pretty leaves behind it, and it gave me this flower pot. So I was getting more to what I wanted when I added that stamp set. So let me show you some of the things I've done with this, and then I'm going to show you how I made these cards. Again, it's called Valley in Bloom Sweet Collection, and the additional set that I'm using is called Life in Bloom. So it was one of those stamp sets I didn't order on my first order. Then one of my friends sent me a birthday card, and I loved it. So then I did this card at camp because I love the blackberry with the colors. It was just so pretty to me. Then there's an embossing folder, and I did the reverse on the embossing folder and played around with that. So then I decided I wanted to do those two cards. So these are the two. I'm going to do this one and turn it into a card, and this one and turn it into a card. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So here's the gems. They're so pretty. They've got like a little fleck of sparkle in them. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I decided to start with a card base of Pretty Peacock. I loved the colors in this designer series paper. So I have my Pretty Peacock. I have a garden green. I have this designer series paper, but I can use this side if I want. And then I cut out my elements here so I can show you how I did this. Okay, so I wanted my flower pot to be this pattern, which is in the dies. So I stamped the pot. I did it on basic beige, and I did that because I wanted to make my white lily of the valley with my white gel pen. So I'm going to cut out this pot because the die cut pot is just a little bit bigger. And that goes with my other flower arrangement. So now I have my pot that's going to go on here. And now my pot has a little texture to it. There, you can kind of see that. Okay, let me show you how I colored this. I got my markers, or my blends. I got my light Pretty Peacock. I got my dark Grainy Apple. And I got my light Lemon Lolly. So I'm going to color my leaves. There's a couple different leaves in here. And I am going to go light first and kind of highlight the leaves so I can see those big leaves. And I can go in and add those other colors and kind of blend it in just a second. But I love stamping on the basic beige. Oh, I did stamp in Pretty Peacock. Okay, so I've kind of highlighted those so I know where my big leaves are. Oh, this is one too. And then I'm going to go back in with my Grainy Apple. and do a little more coloring. And I can go back in and blend this. Don't anybody have a heart attack. I also think once you've done some of this, it lightens up as it sits there a minute. I find it easier for me to go back and start light and then add the dark than it is to hit the dark in there where I don't want it. Because I can oops with the light a little bit better than I can with the dark. I'm sure you never oops with yours. I don't know where you're watching me from, but I'm in Indiana. It's a beautiful day in Indiana today. It's so pretty. I'm going to get this done, and then I'm going to sit outside for a little bit and enjoy the day. I don't always do that very well, but today I am going to. So now I've gone back through and darkened those, and see how they're blending? And again, as it sits, it blends a little bit more. Now, I have my Pretty Peacock, and this is the light Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to go over just a little bit. I don't want it too dark. I just want to make it a little peacock. The other thing I could have done, if I'd wanted to, is take like a wink of Stella or something and just watercolor this, because the peacock will pull off. See how pretty that is? And the colors are blending. Now I'm going to take my white gel pen. These are new. If you don't have one, you need it, because it's making my Lily of the Valley beautiful. And it's a good gel pen. So now I've just dotted my Lily of the Valley. If I don't want a beige background and I really want to change it again, I do this a lot. I go in with my light seafoam and just kind of color the background. And that'll change the color from the basic beige. It just darkens it a little bit. So this is the colored side, and this is the not colored side. It's very subtle, but I kind of like it. So I'll do it, and then I'll put my other one over here so we can compare. I'm not going to hit those gel spots because it dries pretty quickly, but I just don't want to schmutz it. Why take a chance if I don't have to? Okay. So can you see the difference between the colored background and the not colored background? Again, like I said, it's very subtle. But I like it. I'm going to put my pot on the bottom. Oh, well, obviously, put that thing on crooked. And then this is a little longer than I want, so I'm just going to trim it off. I thought about cutting off the base, which I could have done. I just wanted to leave a little bit of lip to glue it on, but I didn't. Okay, now we're going to do some assembly required, friends. You ready? Well, it's ready or not. Here I go. I think I just got some seal on that, so I'm going to flip that. Pretty Peacock. Garden Green. DSP. I have these pretty leaves. I'm going to take my bone folder and manipulate them a little bit. So I've got curly pretty leaves. And they'll flatten down. It's not like you're not going to be able to mail it. So I want these behind my pot. But before I put my pot on, I love this little lattice work. This is one of the dies from the second set. It's one of the dies from this. So there's the dies, there's the pot I used. We're going to use these flowers in a minute. We're going to use this in the bow. And then that cut out the this piece right there. So I'm going to put a little bit of green glue on this. Had I been smart and thought it through, I could have used the adhesive sheets, which would have worked really well. I love our adhesive sheets. They come in very handy. So I'm going to take that over to the edge. And now I'm going to build my pretty flower. Put this over here. There's my other leaf. I'm going to stick him up here, almost to the edge. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of my pretty bouquet of Lily of the Valley. They're so tiny and delicate, and they smell so good. I really enjoy them every year. Let's scoot it up just a little bit. Okay, there you go. Isn't it pretty? It's just got so much texture and interest. Here are the words I chose. They say happy for you, and I want to put them up here in the corner. And then I'm going to add some gems. I'm going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock. Happy for you could be so many things. Could be graduation, could be wedding, could be birthday. And then here's those gems that go with this. And this is like a coastal cabana, which is beautiful. Those are clear. There's that pretty green. You see the little shine in there? There you go, friends. This is card 1. Now let me show you card 2. So this one is this right here. I'm going to show you how I built that bouquet. I cut out all my little pieces. I have this white, and this is the die cut. It's just a white floral bouquet. And I'm going to use those 2 colors of green again. I have my dark granny apple and my light lemon lolly. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where I'm going to kind of color it all. In the light. Go back over it with some dark right around some of these edges. Oh, there's a cat. Can you hear my cat? He thinks he needs something. He's really fine. Trust me. If he shows up over here, you'll see how unmistreated he is. So again, I'm just adding a little bit of that green on top. There are people who color beautifully and spend so much time on it. Not it. I'm just going to kind of go back over there again. And again, it's going to soak in and just be a little highlighty, which we love. And yes, I normally don't treat my tips like this. I didn't do it. My granddaughter did it. I had a much nicer tip before. Okay, so there's my pretty green. Now I have all of these flowers that I want to color. I'm going to show you how I colored these. I took my sorry, I lost my color. So I took my water painter, my Blackberry Bliss. This one I used Berry Burst, but I want to use the Blackberry Bliss on this one. So because I want you to see the different color. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take my ink and I want to dilute it. So here's my bow. And I used watercolor paper for these because it's going to give me more of the look I want. I'm going to turn these all over and make sure they're good and wet. I'm just going to dot the center of this. This one still has that extra piece in there. It's fine. Take this one out. And I just want it to soak in like the center of a flower. And I don't need all these. I cut out some extra. I only need 8. 1, 2, 3. And the wetter I get them, the longer I have to wait to put them on. So, right? They just won't stick. Because I've made them wet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. And I want them different colors. I want them different. I want all of it different because every flower looks a little bit different. Okay. So now we're going to build the card and then we'll put these on. I'm going to set them up there. And I could get a heat gun and dry each one of them, but that's going to be a little bit hard to do because they're tiny. I could get the tweezers, but I'm just going to give them a minute. I probably should have done this card first and then came back. So I've got 2 sides. Does my pot look better on this side? On this side. I kind of like this pattern. I'm kind of doing the same layout as the other card. I'm going to put a vase over here. And then instead of the zigzags, I have this guy. And this one comes out of the Lily of the Valley dies. Yeah, Lily of the Valley. Let's get rid of these. Again, sticker sheet would have been smart. Adhesive sheet, because then I could have just laid it down, but we're going to put a little green glue on it. The birds are chirping today. They were chirping early this morning too. It's nice enough we could have the windows open. These are the teeniest, tiniest dots of green glue. Partially because of my love-hate relationship with green glue. I know, some of you love it. I do not. We've tried to be friends. We can't. Just hasn't worked out. Okay, beautiful. I've got my words. I'm going to stamp them on there. I had a choice of 2. I couldn't decide whether I wanted to say happy birthday or to one of the nicest people I know. I think I'm going to do to one of the nicest people I know because that could be happy birthday. That could be a lot of things. I'm going to put those down here across the bottom. Love it. I want to ask you what you think I should do, but then I realize I'm not on a Facebook Live. So I can ask you, but you can't answer me, and I can't hear you answer me. Okay, I'm going to take this back. So there's a couple ways that I could put these on. I can dab a little bit of glue, or I can put them on with a glue dot, which raises them up a little bit. So I'm going to go with the glue dots. So they'll be raised up just a little bit. Look, somebody's got ink on her fingers. That's a good day. When I go out, after I've stamped all day, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's fine. People should know that I had a good day. All right, I'm going to whack this off here. Oh, and then I want one back here on my bow. Okay, so now I'm going to add them to this. That's probably hard to see on that messy thing. And put my extra flowers back in my little tray. Is that easier to see or harder? Yay! So I'm going to take these and stick them on top of those flowers. They do line up. That's just not my jam. So I will not be lining those up. Just in case you're out there and you're the nicest person I know, let me know and I'll send you this card, right? You just have to tell me in the comments what a nice person you are and I can send you this card. Okay, so now I'm going to take, these are the iridescent pearls, and I'm going to make those my flower centers. My sometimes this sticky stuff comes out on my things and makes a mess. That's a new thing. I just replaced it, so I think I've twisted it too far. Look how pretty that is. Can you see all that? Now we're going to some assembly require it. I'm going to put my seal across the top of my pot. Dang it. That's called oversealing, right? And this fits right on there. And then this pot's textured. Can you see that? So what I like to do with things like this is I can seal this all down, or I also like to seal the bottom of it and put a dimensional up here across the top. So my flowers are going to be raised up a little bit. I want to be able to see that lattice behind there. So how are we looking? I still need to add my bow and some more pearls. Here's my bow. You know, I don't like anything that's too flat, so we're gonna, there's my bow, and then my bow needs a pearl. Then we're gonna add a couple more of these big pearls. Okay, friends. Do you have a preference? Do you like one better than the other? I don't know, they're kind of lovely. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Gosh, I hope you have a great day, and we will stamp together again soon. Thanks.